Bible as the New Jerusalem. Ancient astronaut theorists say yes, and suggest that according to traditions from the other side of the world, the time of revelation doesn't lie in the far future, but is happening right now. The Petén Basin, Guatemala, December 21st, 2012. Thousands of people congregate at the ruins of Tikal, one of the largest archaeological sites of the Maya civilization that thrived in the area of Central America for more than 2,000 years. The Maya were known for being incredibly accurate at tracking time by tracing the movement of celestial bodies. And it is on this exact day that the famous Mayan long count calendar comes to an abrupt end. Those gathered at Tikal and other important sites around the world are anticipating some earth-changing event, possibly even the end of the world.
So the Mayans had this prophecy, what we would call 2012, and they were talking about a coming new age or a coming new thing. The best analogy I ever heard about the end of the Mayan calendar was like it was an odometer. It wasn't the end of the world, it was the end of a system, and then the beginning of a new system.
I find it quite fascinating that the Mayan calendar system contains this period of time, 144,000 days, which again multiple of 12. So there's something very strange going on there, with this number 12 recurring.
Was the end of the Mayan calendar signaling not the end of the world, but a turning point for humankind? As far as ancient astronaut theorists are concerned, the answer is yes. And if the number 12 is some kind of alien code, it is profoundly linked to everything from the formation of the majestic 12 to the events of 12/21/2012.
Many people were expecting possibly some big cataclysm. It was the end of the Mayan calendar. But instead, what happened in 2012 was a turning point in history.
Geneva, Switzerland, July 4th, 2012. In the final year of the Mayan calendar, scientists working at the CERN Large Hadron Collider, the most complex machine ever created, announced the LHC's first major finding. The particle accelerator has uncovered a tiny bit of matter called the Higgs boson, an elementary force that allows particles to acquire mass to form matter that makes up our world. The confirmation of the God particle, as it became known, validated the standard model of physics, which proposes there are 12 fundamental particles. The God particle, discovered in 2012, is the 12th.
This is a very momentous occasion in the following sense, that for 40 years now people have been looking for it. And it really is the particle that brings together what's called the standard model of physics and explains why particle and matter has mass.
With this 12th and final fundamental particle discovered, scientists believe they now have a complete picture of the basic building blocks of our universe.
We now are in a very different world to the world we were pre-2012, with all kinds of revelations in science. Things have really changed very fast since then.
Now that we've discovered the Higgs boson, we can actually explore what that implication is for lots of other things we know about the physical universe, including things like dark matter, matter that doesn't really interact with light and we can't see, dark energy, whatever it is that's causing the universe to accelerate, because we know it's accelerating, but we don't know why. So a lot of these other features of physics, we now may be able to get a better handle on.
Along with this God particle, perhaps humans on Earth are discovering exactly who we are, where we've come from, and where we're going.
Has humanity entered a new age of understanding, one shepherded in by the discovery of the 12th fundamental particle, the so-called God particle? Ancient astronaut theorists say yes, and point to another extraordinary occurrence in 2012. One that happened just 1 month before the end of the Mayan calendar.
astronomers at the Arecibo Observatory in Puerto Rico observed this blinding flash of light that kept repeating itself. They had no idea what it was or actually where it was coming from. They continued researching it and they discovered that this bright flash was so bright that it had the power of 500 million suns.
What the astronomers were witnessing was a fast radio burst, or FRB. A transient radio pulse caused by some high-energy astrophysical process not yet understood. They would label this burst for the year, month, and day it was discovered, FRB 121102.
What makes FRB 121102 really interesting was that it didn't happen once, it actually repeated. After the original pulse detected in November of 2012, it flashed again in May of 2015 and then again in June, multiple times each time, which led some scientists to speculate maybe it's not just a random occurrence. Maybe this is actually a strong signal being sent out deliberately by some alien civilization trying to contact us.
We have another coincidence with 12, with the FRB 121102 bursts of information that are coming to us. It seems to be an intelligence signal aimed at planet Earth.
Could the extraordinary discoveries of the God particle and fast radio bursts provide evidence that 2012 really did mark a major turning point? One in which humanity will awaken to a profound new reality. Ancient astronaut theorists suggest that we are on the brink of deciphering the final part of this alien code, and that the key might actually be found not by means of mathematics, but with music. Samos, Greece, 535 BC. 35-year-old mathematician and philosopher Pythagoras leaves his home to travel to Egypt and study the esoteric arts. He becomes initiated into the Egyptian priesthood and eventually founds a school where his pupils are sworn to secrecy. Despite his mysterious nature, Pythagoras would share with the world groundbreaking mathematical concepts, and he believed that through his study of both music and the movement of the planets, he had uncovered the sacred code of the universe.
The ancients realized that they were wandering objects called planets. And because they moved, perhaps encoded in the motion of these planets was our destiny, the future. That there was a rhyme and reason to the radii of the orbits of the planet. The music of the spheres. That these spheres, when they rotate, create music according to certain ratios found in music. The person who first understood the laws of music was Pythagoras. He worked out the laws of music. That music is divided into 12 notes.
Pythagoras had this notion that the music of the spheres, that the harmony, the sound that moved the planets around was also the sound that would keep the body in alignment. So above as below, that we would be in sync with the movements of our own galaxy because of this musical pattern that suffused everything. There are 12 tones in the musical system, so there's a 12ness to the way the galaxies are harmonized, to the way our bodies might be in sync with everything, all through the 12 tones of the musical scale.
An octave has 12 steps to it, and that became the origin of the mathematics of music. Well, today we believe that string theory, which is what I do for a living, is based on the harmonies of vibrating strings. We now believe that all the subatomic particles in the universe, neutrons, protons, quarks, are nothing but different vibrations of a tiny rubber band. And so what is the universe? The universe is a symphony of strings. And therefore, what is the mind of God that Albert Einstein wrote about so eloquently for the last 30 years of his life? According to string theory, the mind of God would be cosmic music resonating through hyperspace.